Thursday, November 23rd, 2023. Afternoon edition. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated News Digest video.
Good afternoon, dear viewers. I am your news anchor, Xander Voxius III. Thank you for tuning into the Future of News, the AI-generated News Digest Daily Intellireport. As always, I will be assisted by my valued AI-generated colleagues in scraping the web for the latest stories and interesting topics and summarizing them for you. Without further ado, here are the headlines of the day. Binance CEO pleads guilty, resigns in U.S. probe. Israel investigates Gaza hospital's alleged military use. Sam Altman to return as OpenAI CEO. U.S. service members injured in missile attack. Tempers flare as number 4 Marquette upsets number 1 Kansas. Israel and Hamas agree on hostage release, truce, and much more. But first, let's take a look at this day in history.
November 23rd in history. November 23rd, 534 BC. Thespis of Acaria becomes the first recorded actor to portray a character on stage. November 23rd, 1876. Corrupt Tammany Hall leader William McGeer Tweed, also known as Boss Tweed, is handed over to authorities in New York City following his apprehension in Spain. November 23rd, 2004. The Holy Trinity Cathedral of Tbilisi, the largest religious building in Georgia, is consecrated.
Today's obituaries. Fatima Bibi, brief Wikipedia summary. Fatima Bibi, an Indian jurist, has passed away at the age of 96. She was the first female judge to be appointed to the Supreme Court of India and the first Muslim woman to be appointed to any higher judiciary in the country. Bibi also served as the governor of Tamil Nadu from 1997 to 2001. Ratko Bozovic, 89, Serbian University professor and writer. Ángel Conte Cascaro was an 81-year-old Spanish writer and poet. He was born on October 15, 1942, and held a doctorate in history. He was active during the Francoist regime and was a member of the Communist Party of Spain. Conte passed away on November 23, 2023 in Almeria. Rona Hartner. Brief Wikipedia summary. Rona Hartner, a Romanian actress known for her roles in films such as The Crazy Stranger and Time of the Wolf, has died at the age of 50. She had been battling lung and brain cancer. Boris Maksudov, 38, Russian war journalist, drone airstrike. Paul Sait was an Australian rugby league player and coach. He passed away at the age of 76. Sait played for the South Sydney team during the 1960s and 1970s, and he represented the Australian national team in 7 matches. In the 1980s, he had a successful coaching career with South Sydney. Armand Strandchom, 68, Luxembourgish painter and sculptor. Patricia Barraclough, Australian producer and presenter. This Day Tonight, Lateline, Australian Story. Mike Bickle. Brief Wikipedia summary. Mike Bickle, an English footballer who played for Plymouth Argyle and Gillingham, has passed away at the age of 79. Posechi Bune. Brief Wikipedia summary. Posechi Bune, a Fijian civil servant and politician, passed away at the age of 77 due to prostate cancer. Boone had a long career in public service, serving as a diplomat, cabinet minister and MP from 1991 to 2006. He held various senior positions and was involved in founding political parties such as the Christian Democratic Alliance and the People's Democratic Party. Boone was also a survivor of the 2000 Fijian coup d'etat. Antonio Gennaro. Brief Wikipedia summary. Antonio Gennaro, a Filipino Olympic basketball player, has passed away at the age of 94. He competed in the 1952 and 1956 Summer Olympics and was part of the team that won a gold medal at the 1962 Asian Games. Giannato also played in the 1954 FIBA World Championship. He was the last living member of the 1962 Asian Games gold-winning team. Ibrahim Guerra, 79, Venezuelan television director, known for his work on Amor Sin Fronteras, Tres Destinos and Cosita Rica. Santi Gutierrez Calle, 78, Spanish footballer, Racing de Santander. Sead Jasenkovic, brief Wikipedia summary. Sead Jasenkovic, an 80-year-old Bosnian football player and manager, passed away. He had a successful playing career, primarily with Sarajevo, and won the Yugoslav First League title in 1966-67. After retiring as a player, Jasenkovic became a coach, mostly working with the youth team of Sarajevo.
And now on to today's news.
General news.
Israel and Hamas have reached a breakthrough agreement on the release of hostages and a 4-day truce.
Israel and Hamas have reached a deal for a 4-day pause in fighting and the release of at least 50 women and children held hostage in Gaza, marking a major diplomatic breakthrough nearly 7 weeks after the start of a conflict that has spiraled into a grave humanitarian crisis in the enclave.
Several U.S. service members were injured in a missile attack at al-Asad Air Base in Iraq, according to the Pentagon. This information was reported by CBS News.
Several U.S. service members were injured in a ballistic missile attack by Iranian-backed militias on al-Asad Air Base in Iraq. The U.S. military responded with a retaliatory strike, killing several Iranian-backed militia personnel. This comes amid concerns of a broader conflict in the Middle East.
Microsoft's AI-powered Copilot for Windows 10 is now available to test. The Verge.
Microsoft is bringing the Copilot feature, previously exclusive to Windows 11, to Windows 10. The AI-powered chatbot can answer queries and generate text. Windows 10 users in the Release Preview channel can test Copilot now, with wider availability expected in the coming weeks. Microsoft has also stated that it will continue to invest in Windows 10 and may introduce more AI features in the future, but there will be no major updates to the operating system. The end of support for Windows 10 remains October 14, 2025.
Inside Israel's campaign to prove a Gaza hospital was a Hamas command center, The Wall Street Journal.
The article discusses the growing pressure on Israel to justify its seizure of Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza due to the humanitarian consequences of the war.
Prisco's Week 12 NFL picks. Cowboys feast on Commanders. Jaguars beat Texans in battle atop AFC South. CBS Sports.
The first article in the text is about NFL game predictions for Thanksgiving week. The author predicts that the Detroit Lions will win against the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys will defeat the Washington Commanders, the San Francisco 49ers will beat the Seattle Seahawks, the Miami Dolphins will win against the New York Jets, and the New Orleans Saints will defeat the Atlanta Falcons.
Business news.
Binance's Zhao pleads guilty, steps down to settle U.S. illicit finance probe. Reuters.
Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao has resigned and admitted guilt in violating U.S. anti-money laundering laws. This comes as part of a $4.3 billion settlement with prosecutors, making it one of the biggest corporate penalties in U.S. history. Zhao will personally pay $50 million as part of the settlement. The charges against Binance involve breaching anti-money laundering and sanctions laws, neglecting to report suspicious transactions involving terrorist organizations, and failing to report transactions with websites selling child sexual abuse materials. Zhao will maintain his ownership in Binance, while Richard Teng will assume the role of CEO.
Mortgage demand jumps to 6-week high as interest rates continue to drop. CNBC.
Mortgage demand is slowly increasing as interest rates continue to drop. Total application volume increased 3% last week, with applications to refinance a home loan rising 2%. However, despite the increase, mortgage demand remains at very low levels. The housing market is still weak, with October sales of existing homes reaching the lowest level in 13 years. Analysts do not expect any major changes in mortgage rates in the near future.
European Central Bank Vice President says escalation in geopolitical risk could spark market correction. CNBC.
The European Central Bank, ECB, is concerned that markets are not fully pricing in risks from geopolitics and the economic outlook, according to the group's vice president, Luis de Guindos. He warned that a negative surprise in the economy or an escalation of geopolitical risks could lead to a significant correction in market prices. The ECB's Financial Stability Review for November highlighted the challenges of achieving a soft landing for inflation without causing economic damage. While concerns over banking sector volatility have faded, risks to financial stability remain elevated.
Sam Altman is set to make a comeback as the CEO of OpenAI following his turbulent removal, according to Reuters.
Sam Altman is returning as CEO of OpenAI after his recent ouster. The company has also announced a new board with former Salesforce co-CEO Bret Taylor as chair. Questions still remain about Altman's firing and the involvement of Microsoft in the company's future.
Technology news.
3 deals in Steel's Power Hour, Black Friday blowout, GMA.
The first article is about the GMA 3 Power Hour and the deals available for Black Friday. Some of the deals include 25% off festive home accessories from Furbish, 25% off truffle condiments from The Truffleist, and 48% to 53% off cheeky self-care products from Chegang. There is also a deal for 40% off personalized signs and trays from Rustic Marlin.
Sports news.
NFL Power Rankings Week 12. Eagles, Chiefs a firm place at top. USA Today.
The article discusses the NFL Power Rankings entering Week 12 of the 2023 season. The Philadelphia Eagles remain in the top spot, while the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers hold on to their respective positions. The article also highlights notable performances and challenges for each team.
Tempers flare with head coaches Shaka Smart and Bill Self in number 4 Marquette's upset of number 1 Kansas at Maui Invitational. Yahoo Sports.
Tempers flared between head coaches Shaka Smart and Bill Self during the Maui Invitational game between number 1 Kansas and number 4 Marquette. The incident occurred after Kansas player Kevin McCullough Jr. made a three-pointer and exchanged words with Smart. Both coaches received technicals, and Marquette went on to win the game 73-59.
People born on this day.
Christopher James Adler is an American drummer, born on November 23, 1972. He is widely recognized for his exceptional drumming skills and contributions to the world of music. Unfortunately, the provided article does not include any information about Christopher James Adler.
Nicholas Backstrom. Here's a recap of their Wikipedia page. Nicholas Backstrom is a Swedish ice hockey player who currently plays as a center for the Washington Capitals in the NHL. He is known for his exceptional playmaking skills and has achieved numerous milestones throughout his career.
November 23rd, 1907, Run Run Shaw, Chinese Hong Kong businessman and philanthropist, founded Shaw Brothers Studio and TVB, died 2014.
Health news.
Zombie deer fatal infection, chronic wasting disease found in white-tailed deer for the first time in Franklin County. WTVD-TV.
The first case of chronic wasting disease, CWD, has been confirmed in Franklin County, North Carolina. CWD is a contagious neurological disease that affects deer and other similar animals. The North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission has implemented surveillance programs and regulations to monitor the disease, but experts warn that it could be present in other counties. While CWD has not been reported in humans, there are concerns about potential risks to people who consume infected meat or come into contact with infected animals. The World Health Organization has recommended keeping meat from animals with CWD out of the human food chain since 1997.
How bats carry deadly diseases without dying. Vox.
Hidden belly fat could signal Alzheimer's disease risk 15 years before symptoms show up, study finds. New York Post.
Deep belly fat, known as visceral fat, has been linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, according to research from the Radiological Society of North America. The study found that individuals with more visceral fat had higher levels of amyloid, a protein associated with Alzheimer's, in the brain. The findings suggest that body fat distribution may be a potential biomarker for Alzheimer's risk.
Congenital syphilis is on the rise, while Montgomery County remains a high area for syphilis in adults, according to the Dayton Daily News.
The rate of congenital syphilis in the United States has increased tenfold over the past decade, with over 3,700 babies born with the disease in 2022. Montgomery County in Ohio has the fifth highest rate of syphilis among women of childbearing age in the state, leading public health officials to urge women to get tested regularly. The rise in congenital syphilis cases mirrors the increase in syphilis cases in women of childbearing age. Lack of prenatal care and delayed testing and treatment are contributing factors to the rise in cases. Congenital syphilis can cause stillbirth, low birth weight, developmental delays, and other health problems in infants.
Entertainment news.
Travis Kelce's red flags in Taylor Swift relationship called out, BuzzFeed News.
The article discusses the history between Taylor Swift and Travis, mentioning their appearances at multiple games and their regular outings. The media has also shared intimate details about their date nights.
Hurtful. Susan Sarandon dropped by agency after pro-Palestinian speech ignites anti-Semitism uproar. U.S. News, Haaretz.
Actress Susan Sarandon has been dropped by the United Talent Agency after her pro-Palestinian speech sparked accusations of anti-Semitism. The agency stated that her comments were hurtful to agency employees, while Sarandon defended herself, saying that most people do not have the full context of the situation.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intellireport. Like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.